Hello, I am Mac, at least for a day, and everything's going to be okay. We just got some really big news. Now I have to credit Zane's World for breaking this news. It's because of a video by Zane's World that I found out about this, and also my friend Daniel Hipley, who told me about Zane's World's video. But anyway, apparently Crossplay is confirmed. Crossplay with different platforms for No Man's Sky has been confirmed. There was a PC experimental patch, and in the patch notes for it, it just said something like replaced networking backend. But when Zane's World looked into the files and stuff, he found a folder that literally said Crossplay. It was named Crossplay. There's a folder named Crossplay, and inside that folder there was an icon for each platform that No Man's Sky is on. There's an icon for Steam, PlayStation, Xbox, and GOG, and then there was also a generic platform icon, which might imply that there may be other platforms that No Man's Sky is on or is going to be on eventually. But that's pretty much definitely confirmed crossplay for No Man's Sky. They just added a folder that says crossplay, literally. So there's not really any way to deny that crossplay is coming now. It's something people have been talking about and some people have asked for. I didn't really think that they would ever be able to do it, but apparently they did. And they've also changed some things in the networking. So I'm on PlayStation, so I can't show this to you yet because it's not actually live, it's just PC experimental. But they've added a few options in the network options. Like there's a new friends list, and there's like two different friends lists. Well, for Zane's World, he had a Steam's friend list and here, let's see. Oh, don't think I should do that. He had a Steam's friend list and a No Man's Sky friends list. So that definitely makes it seem like you can have people that are on your platform that are your friends, and then you can also have people that are your No Man's Sky friends, and they could potentially be from other platforms. So yeah, there's new multiplayer stuff coming. Zane's World gave his opinion, and I agree with him, that it seems likely that they won't be merging the universes, like, because right now each platform that has No Man's Sky is a separate universe, meaning bases that are built are only found, on that platform, and they're technically the same universe or the same universe seed, so the same planets exist on each platform. But any changes that we make, like when we name stuff, like say I named this planet, only people on PlayStation would be able to see the new name that I gave this planet. People on PC or Xbox would not see that. They'd see the original name or the name that someone else on there gave it. So any changes are only in your platform's universe. And same with bases and all that. So it would be very difficult for them to merge the universes. So what Zane's World said is he thinks we'll be able to like jump into someone else's game. Like say I want to jump into someone on Xbox's game. So I could, not sure how I would get a friend who's on Xbox. Yeah, I mean, how would you even get people on Xbox onto your friends list in the first place? There has to be some way to meet up with them. Maybe it's the Nexus. Maybe the Nexus will be cross-platform and it'll be possible to bump into people from another platform in the Nexus, and then you can befriend them and then you'll be able to jump into their game. Otherwise, I don't know how you would ever get them on your friends list if you can't bump into them somewhere. Yeah, that's really weird. So not sure how it's going to work. We don't know any details. We just have confirmation that crossplay is coming because of that folder. Now, in regards to, I can already hear people complaining about this because, of course, what I and a lot of people want is more variety in No Man's Sky. And I could see people now saying everybody wants variety, and so Hello Games gave us more multiplayer. Multiplayer has almost become a curse of No Man's Sky. I mean, it was always a curse for No Man's Sky. Sean Murray in the beginning, before the game came out, implied that No Man's Sky was going to have multiplayer, and then when it didn't have multiplayer when the game launched, there was a whole bunch of outrage about that. And so at that point, multiplayer was a curse for No Man's Sky because people were outraged that they thought there was going to be multiplayer and then there wasn't. But now it's become a curse in that every single year we get more multiplayer added, and it almost seems like that's at the expense of them doing other things. Let's see, it was Atlas Rises was the 1 year anniversary of No Man's Sky first coming out. Was the first time they added any type of multiplayer. Atlas Rises added the orb multiplayer, where you could just see other players as orbs, but you couldn't see the results of anything that they do. You just see an orb floating around that represents them. So that was the first time we got sort of a multiplayer that really wasn't considered multiplayer. So people still wanted actual multiplayer after that. So then another year later, we had the No Man's Sky Next update, and that added true multiplayer. So 2 years after No Man's Sky released, originally, we got actual multiplayer where we could see other players' character models, we could mine the terrain by another player and they could see the result of it, we could build bases together, and everything like that. So that was when we got full multiplayer. Since then, it seems like we're always getting other additions to multiplayer when, not a lot of people are really asking for it anymore. Some people are. There's some people really entrenched in the multiplayer thing and really want there to be more multiplayer, but it seems like less and less people are asking for multiplayer now that we've actually got it. And yet, Hello Games keeps spending time adding more multiplayer. So then in the Beyond update earlier, well, actually it was last year already. Is it? Yeah. Wow. Oh my gosh, that was a year ago. So a year ago, the Beyond update came out, or a little less than a year ago. And what did we get? Oh, we got the Nexus. So we got some more improvements to multiplayer and made it easier to meet up with other players in the Nexus and all that. So every year since No Man's Sky came out, we've gotten more multiplayer. And now for the 4th year in a row, we're going to be getting another addition to multiplayer, Crossplay. I'm not really complaining. I'm fine with them, doing whatever they want with the game. I do wish that they would also make other additions, like, improving planet variety and maybe combat improvements, other things to do, because the multiplayer hasn't really added a lot more to do, at least for me. I know some people really enjoy it, but it really doesn't enhance the game for me. Really, only thing that I really liked was when they made it so that we could see other players' bases, and that was added even before the Atlas Rises update. That was added way back in the Pathfinder update. So being able to see other players' bases was really cool, but I never really got a whole lot out of playing with other players. I mean, there's still, to this day, not much that you can do with another player. You can shoot at stuff together, but there's not much of any reason to do that. You can do missions together, but it's also possible to solo everything. Even though there are missions that are intended to be multiplayer, it's possible for any player with enough equipment to solo any of that stuff. So multiplayer is not required, which is good. People would be really mad if they were forced to play multiplayer. But at the same time, it's not very important to the game. You're not required to do it. It doesn't really enhance the game very much. Some people like to mess around with each other, but I really just think they should be concentrating on other things that people are asking for now instead of continuing to add more to multiplayer. But I know some people are going to like this, and hopefully it means there's going to be other stuff. There's always other stuff with any update. Multiplayer improvements was 1/3 of the Beyond update. There was VR, multiplayer, and then a bunch of base building stuff. But yeah, tell me what you all think. I'd like to know. I'd like to know like what percentage of my viewers wanted more multiplayer, or what people would rather them not do multiplayer. Tell me what you think. Is crossplay actually something that's useful that you think we should have? What should they be doing instead? But let's talk about it in the comments and see what we think. I'm not completely complaining about this. It's pretty cool that we're definitely getting something kind of big, but hopefully it will come along with other improvements such as variety and other things to do in the game besides just play with other players. But anyway, that about does it. Thank you to Daniel Hipley for letting me know about this, and Zane's World for breaking the news. So I have been Mac. Thank you for joining me for a day. And remember, everything's going to be okay.